Hey guys, so as you can see from the title of this video, today we'll be covering how to increase your show rate. Now, if you're an agency owner, coach, consultant, SaaS company owner, software business, crypto company, it doesn't really matter, right? You could be an info product, whatever. As long as you focus in with me for the next 5 to 10 minutes and you apply this into your business and apply it correctly using the 4 principles that I'm going to cover, right, you will see a show rate percentage of 80 to 90%, and you can close more high-ticket clients, high-paying clients, and get more revenue for your business and more profit, and maybe even go on a vacation more often or travel the world, right? But just focus in with me for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and I promise you I'm going to give you some free sauce, free value, and yeah, you can start seeing results instantly for free. So, and right before I even jump in, why should you listen to me? My name is Leo. I'm the founder of Closer. I run a sales consulting firm, and so far across all of our partners, we've generated around $3 million in sales. And our goal with anyone that we partner up with is to double their revenue in 120 days time. So let's jump right into it. Now, in terms of in terms of increasing your show rate, a lot of the businesses, they lack a lot of things in their process, or at least their nurture sequence as soon as a lead opts in or books a call in with them, because they don't nurture them within the minute, or they don't do it properly, right? They don't even know what pre-sale content is, or they don't even implement it the right way. They don't know what free gifts is, or they've never done it, and they don't have anything like a pre-sale call, right? And I'll explain how that works, but let's just jump into the first principle. So nurturing leads within the minute is something that you have to do nowadays, because everyone's attention, everyone's just scrolling around, shopping around, right? Looking at the next best thing, next best offer. So if someone opts into your fucking appointment calendar or lead form, and they've opted in or they've sent you their information, you have to nurture that fucking lead within the minute, right? To grab their attention and provide as much value as you can. And you can do this through automations, AI, etc. And then from there, you obviously nurture them at least once a day. So as I mentioned, nurturing them at least once a day via SMS and email as a frame is going to be super useful for your business, right? Now, if you do end up nurturing that lead within the minute, here's an example of an automation that you can use. This is what I use personally for my business. And I say, hey, first name, this is Leo from Closer. I just got a request from you for our offer. Before we book a call, please take a look at how we got Orion an extra $230K in 9 months, and I'll send you a free gift. Now, the reason why I'm starting off with value and a testimonial is so that my positioning and my authority throughout this process is increased, or at least the perceived likelihood of authority and success with my service or product is going to be 10 times higher. Because if I just started out with, hey, this is Leo from Closer, I saw that you opted in, but you didn't book a call, blah, 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 let's book a call, right? I seem desperate, and I don't seem like a high value business. Their likelihood of, their level of perception of my business isn't as high as it could be, right? So you want to make sure that you basically, obviously, you want to nurture them as soon as you can, but you don't start out ultimately doing it straight away, right? You don't marry the first fucking chick you go on a date on, right? You do it over time, right? So it's very similar to this. You just want to provide as many testimonials and as much value as you can. Now, my next point is pre-sale content. Now, once you start nurturing them and you've set the frame, like, hey, blah, blah, this is what's going to happen, this is what you're going to get, expect that. This is where you send testimonials and applicable content for them to take away and apply into their business. Now, why do this? Well, Alex Hormozi said, if you guys know this, and you know him, he said that you want to make sure that your free stuff is better than your paid stuff, so that when people get your free stuff, they must be like, oh my gosh, what does the paid stuff look like, right? And it's exactly the same way throughout your process. You want to make sure that you send testimonials and applicable content, obviously in terms of that perspective, and to increase that level of perception, increase trust, start building somewhat of a personal relationship, so that by the time they hop in a sales call with you, it's almost like taking a credit card on file straight away and onboarding them, right? So what I do is I'll obviously say, here's Ryan's case study, and then send him a link, and it goes to this page, and it's like a full in-depth case study of what I do, who I am, what I've accomplished so far, and obviously the specific partner case studies that basically show how I scaled Orion to multi-six figures in less than 9 months, starting from zero, right? And then after you've shared pre-sale content, you want to dive into free gifts. Now, no one has either implemented this or implemented it the correct way. What you want to do is, obviously, you want to send testimonials and applicable content first, so that they can actually look through your business, see that you're legit, right? And then from there, to increase that level of perception, trust, and make them understand that you're not a bullshit business. You guys don't share fluff. You are straight to the fucking point. You are direct. You are serious, right? And you know your shit, right? You want to send free gifts, SOP, sales tracker, script, service credit, whatever it is. Now, what I do personally is I send them an entire folder of all the SOPs, custom scaling plans, booking scripts, whatever it is. I send it all in a folder to them. They can click on it through this link, and I basically increase the level of perception and value provided to that lead, right? And they could, if they apply my stuff straight away and they do it correctly, then they could start seeing results for their business without even paying me, right? Now, how do you think the sales call is going to go if that happens, right? 10 times fucking better. So, just to an idea, if you can't think of anything or you haven't made anything so far as a free gift that you can share with your leads, here it is. Coaches, share like a free training video from your course content, or like a coaching call that you've done before that basically dives into a common pain point that a lot of businesses suffer from today, or a lot of people suffer from today, just to increase the level of value and give them, somewhat of a taster into your actual stuff. Consultants, based on the industry, niche, pain point that you're in, and the thing that you're trying to solve for businesses, make a free growth plan or custom analysis of their business based on the information that they provided, and send that back to them. And then from there, agencies, you guys can have like free ad spend credit, could be potentially lucrative, up to you, or you can have like a free marketing plan. Doesn't really matter. Either of the two works well. Obviously, this free ad spend credit, I haven't really seen many people do. It is very interesting in the sense like, hey, we'll cover some of the ad spend as soon as you sign up with us, right? That's a pretty enticing offer. It's pretty cool. But it's up to you guys. Then from there, finally, SaaS and software companies, you just give them like a free software interaction. So if you can create like a separate, maybe like a beta version of your product and have it on a separate funnel so that they can see what the functionality does, how it works, how it could integrate into their business, or give them like even maybe like a small version of your product or software that they can already instantly integrate into their business, right, and start seeing results with. So that could be really, really useful and lucrative. And then from there, right, what you want to do is you have a pre-sale call. Now, this is not a sales call. This isn't an online video call where you hop in a meeting with them. This is just a phone call, right? And this can be done by a setter or yourself, or like a sales manager, or just a C-suite executive at your business, whatever it is. You want to make sure you walk them through and establish a human connection to build trust, set the agenda for the sales call, like basically get them in that buyer state, set the expectation that they will be ready to buy or they could be ready to buy on that next call, and remind them of everything you've sent so far to basically remind them of the value, the testimonials, the free gifts, right? Like increase that level of perception every single time that you interact with that lead. Now, obviously, it could go something like, hey, Lisa, I hope all is well. This is Leo from Closer. I was just calling today just to remind you that our call is coming up very soon, and it's basically just going to be a call to explore whether or not we can partner up with your business. And by the way, I just wanted to ask, what did you think of the free gifts that we sent you so far? Did you find that useful? Was it valuable? Did you find it helpful? Right? Have you integrated it so far? Right? So stuff like that. It's just as simple as that. And then from there, you could just say, okay, awesome. Well, Lisa, you'll be receiving the meeting link tomorrow at 5 p.m. or like an hour before your call. Please make sure that you attend that. And if it's okay, we'll also give you like an SMS or maybe like another call tomorrow, same time, just to confirm that. Is that okay? Cool. Right? So if you have a nurture process just like that, right, there's no reason as to why you guys shouldn't have an 80 to 90% show rate. It just takes fucking effort and the right automations and systems in place. And this pre-sale call, for those of you guys who say, oh, well, that's no sustainable at scale, right? Have a separate Slack channel for all of your setters, or if you have setters, or if it's just you, right? Doesn't matter. Have a separate Slack channel, and basically add an automation in GoHighLevel where it says wait 1 day before the appointment, or wait 12 hours before the appointment, or 5 hours before the appointment, and then have that notification go into the Slack channel and remind you, hey, there's 5 hours before the appointment with Lisa. Call them now to pre-sell them, right? Then you immediately call them, or your setter calls them, or someone else calls them on behalf of your business and does that exact thing, right? So it's not that hard to nurture your prospects and get them to actually show up on the call. It just matters that you get value and pain across throughout this process, because people buy in one of two ways. They either see so much fucking value with your product or service, or they have so much fucking pain because of your nurture sequence, and you've made them realize that they have problems that they didn't even know exist, right? So you want to do this throughout your entire process. You want to either get them to basically have more and more interest in your service or product, or you just want to make them realize that they're not as good as they could be. And you are the bridge to getting them to that point, right? So as long as you guys implement these 4 principles, nurturing leads within the minute, and then from there once a day until the appointment comes, you share pre-sale content throughout this nurture sequence, testimonials, applicable content, just like this video, right? On optimizing your show rate. It can be anything, right? Based on your offer, your industry, and your niche. You share free gifts to make it interactive, almost somewhat gamified as well, so that they can basically have a higher level of perceived value associated with your business, and they actually interact with this process more. And I've given you these like specific ideas based on the type of business that you could be running and the things that you can share with these leads. And then finally, you can set up a separate Slack automation to your channel to remind you that there's like a certain amount of time before their appointment. You call them on a phone, you just give them a phone call, right? You establish that human connection to build trust, you set the frame for the call, what's going to happen, get them into that buyer state, and then remind them of everything you've sent so far and what they thought was the most useful, what they found valuable, whether or not they've integrated it so far, and what they thought of the case studies, right? As long as you do those 4 things and implement those 4 key principles into your business, right? If you have a 10K product, imagine the return on ad spend that you'll see if you do ads. Imagine, scaling to 100, 200, 300, maybe $1 million a month, right? Just through these 4 things by getting an 80 to 90% show rate. So, I hope you guys found this video valuable. And by the way, if you feel like this stuff, it's super valuable, you just don't know how to implement it, or you don't have the time to implement it, or you just feel like, hey, I just want, someone that actually knows their shit to do this for me, book a call with me down in the link of the description of this video, right? I've attached the link. It's on the calendar. I don't care if you book with me or not, right? For me, the most important thing is that you guys got a ton of value throughout this video. And if you feel like I'm the one that could help you with it, that's great. Book in a call with me. I look forward to speaking with you and potentially partnering with you. And scaling your business to 50, 100, 200, $1 million a month, wherever you guys are at. And hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.